StraightallDay.com.
Now tuned in to the show where you learn the discipline to show up day after day, to do the work, the confidence to put yourself out there boldly and authentically, and the mental toughness to continue showing up, doing the work, putting yourself out there, even when the success you've expected to achieve has yet to be achieved. And on top of all this, you get a huge dose of personal initiative, which is the go-getter energy that moves any one of us out there, including yourself. It's going to make things happen instead of waiting for things to happen. And we put all this together into one bundle, one mindset, one method, one approach, one philosophy, one way of living, one way of being. We got a book, and you'll listen to the daily masterclass that is called Work on Your Game. My name is Dre Baldwin, also known as Dre All Day, and welcome to the show. And today we're gonna do a little bit of diagnosis today. All right. Today's topic, you might have seen it in the title. If you haven't read the title, I'll tell you what it is. The title is The Signs That You Hate Money. The signs that you do not want to make money, the signs that you want money to go whatever way you're going, you want money to go the opposite direction, or you want money to run away from you. This one doesn't need a ton of explanation. It is kind of tongue-in-cheek, but it's kind of not. So what we're talking about here today are some things that you may be doing that are either costing you money directly or costing you opportunities to earn money. Things that would show, if you really looked at them, that would show that you consciously or unconsciously are pushing money and opportunity away from you. So whether we're talking actual cash money that goes in your pocket, whether we're talking you getting seen, heard, and known, likes, admiration, love, whatever it is that you want to achieve through your work, through your game, these are signs that you are consciously or unconsciously pushing those things away. So make sure you check yourself for everything that I'm going to lay out here. And these are some common errors. And you also will know how to fix them, because we got masterclasses and frameworks on everything that I lay out here. We got masterclasses and frameworks on what to do about all of this stuff. So I'm not going to leave you hanging. Point number one, the topic once again, signs that you hate money. Number one, you prioritize your tasks over money. Now I want you to understand something. If you're doing a task-based job, that's great. To have tasks in your job and to have a process for what you're doing and say, okay, I'm going to do this first, and then I do this, and today I got it all laid out. I'm going to do this thing, this thing, this thing. Those are all good things. Having a strategy in place and having some organization and order in place for what you're doing is a great thing. But understand something. When you're doing a task-based job and you're at work, but someone offers to interrupt your process, whatever that process happens to be, because they want to consummate a transaction, do it. Why am I telling you to do it? I'm telling you to break your process, break your strategy, and actually go do the thing that's actually going to earn you money. Why am I telling you that? Because you are in business. And the reason that you are in business is not to execute a process. You are not in business to follow a strategy. You are not in business to do tasks and check them off of your to-do list, even though all of those things usually are a part of a well-run business. The main reason you are in business is to make money. All right, that is the number one reason you're in business, because if you stop making money, you ain't in business anymore. So if there comes a time when you need to break out of your process and break your strategy and not complete this task and that task and that task because you're doing something that's actually going to put money in your pocket or put money in the coffers of your business, you need to go do that, because that's the reason you're in business. So understand something about opportunity. I told you about this many times here on the show. Opportunity does not knock. Okay, I told you in episode 1138, you never know when opportunity is watching. And episode 1041, there's much more opportunity out there than you think. Episode 1025, the opportunity is in the opposites. And episode 842, fast opportunity, how to take advantage quickly. Episode 751, opportunity does not knock. Understand something, ladies and gentlemen. Opportunity does not operate on your schedule. Opportunity does not operate in the same orderly manner as you completing your to-do list. Meaning, many times opportunity will show up at your doorstep at an inopportune time based on your task and your process, and you will have to break out of it and break the perfect picture of how you're going to complete your day today. You got to break out of that to go get the money. This is the way opportunity works. Opportunity shows up when opportunity feels like showing up. And opportunity will make demands of you that may be a little bit inconvenient, but they're worth it on the back end because you're doing your thing to get what you need to get. Remember that you are in business to make money. If any of you ever saw the movie Friday with Ice Cube and Chris Tucker, if you didn't see the movie, I'll explain the scene. There was Chris Tucker he's an actor, and he played a character named Smokey. And Smokey's, one of his biggest problems was that he was a a marijuana dealer who liked to smoke marijuana. So in other words, he was getting high on his own supply. He was smoking his own product. In other words, the money that he needed to make from selling marijuana, he didn't have it because he was smoking it all away. And there was one point where Smokey got into a little bit of trouble with his supplier. His supplier was named Big Worm, and Big Worm gave Smokey a certain amount of marijuana to sell, and Smokey owed Big Worm a certain amount of money on the back end. He basically gave it to him on consignment. Smokey was smoking up a lot of the marijuana he was supposed to sell, so Big Worm was kind of agitated. And he threatened Smokey and said, I'm going to end your life by the end of the day today if you don't have my money. So Smokey needed to sell this marijuana. And here's what happened. Shortly after Big Worm made his pronouncement, his prediction of what he was going to do, a guy named Hector comes rolling up the block. And Hector is a marijuana customer. So this Smokey should be happy, right? Smokey should go sell some marijuana to Hector. But Smokey had a personal issue with Hector because of something that happened with them in the past. So Smokey didn't want to sell any marijuana to Hector. He did not want to supply Hector with the marijuana that Hector was willing to purchase because Smokey just had some personal issues against Hector. So in other words, Smokey was going to cut off his nose to spite his face. He was going to cost himself some money in a situation where he needed money just because he didn't like the guy who he was going to sell to. And his friend Craig, who was Ice Cube in the movie, or Ice Cube in the movie was his friend Craig. Craig said to Smokey, hey, you better get up off of your ass and go sell that marijuana to Hector because you owe Big Worm money and you got me tangled in this whole thing. Now Big Worm's mad at me too and I ain't had nothing to do with it. You better go sell that marijuana. I don't care who you sell it to. You better sell that marijuana and make that money. The point is this, everybody. You're in business to make money. And sometimes when you're in business to make money, you can't be all discerning about who you're selling your products and services to because business is business. If somebody wants to buy your product, you sell it to them. The very reason you have a process is so you can be better prepared to make money. So remember that you don't get paid for the process. You get paid for the transaction. The process supports the transaction. And if the transaction demands that you break the process, then you break the damn process and you get the money. Generally speaking. Point number 2. Today's topic, once again, are signs that you, consciously or unconsciously, hate money. You hate revenue. You hate success. Number 2, you do not accept that you're in business to make money. And this may sound kind of crazy. It may sound kind of ridiculous. Like, Dre, who doesn't know that they're in business to make money? I think a lot of people don't know they're in business to make money in an unconscious way. Maybe not consciously, but unconscious. This is the type of person who spends more of their resources doing stuff that might be fun, but isn't actually making you money, and or you don't have a strategy for turning it into money. Meaning it might be fun to mess around on your Instagram stories or dip in and out of clubhouse rooms or watch YouTube videos or even make the videos. But what's your strategy? What's the process? How do you draw a line from what you're doing to how you're actually going to make some money? If you're focusing more on doing the things that are fun and are part of your, maybe it's part of your process, maybe it's just enjoyable, maybe it's just something you've always been doing, so you just keep doing it mindlessly, but you don't have a process for turning it into money, understand that you are investing your most valuable resource, which is your time, along with your energy, attention, and focus, but you're not getting the ROI, which is making the money from it. And again, you don't have to get directly ROI. For example, this show that you're listening to right now, you don't pay me to do this show, but there is a process. You listen to this show, I am nurturing my audience by giving you this value, this game that I'm giving you on a consistent basis. You come into my world, you go get my book, The Mirror of Motivation, which you can get for free. Just cover the shipping at mirrorofmotivation.com. If you're a basketball player, you can go to balloverseas.com, get that free book. If you already read either of those books, you can go to workonyourgamebook.com, get my book, Work on Your Game. If you got all of those, all you got to do is send me a text. I'll tell you which one to get next. You can text me at 305-384-6894. I'm telling you all these things not to promote those things. I'm saying it in a kind of a tongue-in-cheek way to let you know, well, I am doing these things, this right here, which you don't pay for. It does not directly make me money, but it is building a relationship with the audience. It is establishing my credibility with the audience. So when I do have an ask, when I do have something I want you to do, I can come to you and say, hey, do this. Hey, take a look at this. Hey, listen to this. And you'll be willing to listen because of the cachet that I have built over time of giving you value on a consistent basis. And it doesn't matter if this is the first episode you've ever listened to or it's the 300th episode you've ever listened to or the 1000th episode that you ever listened to. Don't get so caught up in doing the thing that you never get around to selling the thing. Remember that you are a marketer. I talked about this in episode number 1515. You are a marketer. And you need to figure out In the process of doing the things that will draw attention to you or are fun to you or that you love to do, how am I going to make money from this? There's a question that you need to ask. Maybe you will be able to answer it yourself. Maybe you can go reach out to someone who can become your coach or can become your mentor, or you need to read a book or go to a clubhouse room or watch a YouTube video or listen to a podcast where someone will explain to you, here's how we turn what you're doing into money. I might happen to be that person who can help you out. So you can reach out to me. Just go to my website, dreallday.com, or DM me somewhere or send me a text, 305-384-6894, and I can help you out with these things. But make sure that there is some line that you can draw strategically, even if it needs to be several lines, even if it starts at here and then you need to go here, 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 and here. But that last point through that line segment needs to be, how are you actually going to make money from doing the thing that you're doing? So make sure you're not just doing stuff without a process or a strategy for how you're going to turn it into revenue, because you are in business to generate revenue. That's why it matters. Not because money is the only thing that matters, but because when you're in business, money is a thing. All right, we are not going to act like that is not. And I have a book coming that's going to address this thing even more moving forward, that you don't get so caught up in doing the thing, you never get around to selling it. But you can start with my book, The Seller's Mindset. If you don't have that yet, go to workonyourgame.com and just scroll down. You'll see a list of all of our books that you can get on that site, and you'll be able to just grab the Seller's Mindset right there from that page, and it'll implement into you the mindset of being a salesperson, which does not mean that, again, that money is the only thing that matters and selling is the only thing that matters, but it is a thing that matters. You understand what I'm saying? Point number 3. Today's topic, once again, are signs that you consciously or unconsciously hate money. Number 3, you do not market, promote, or sell your shit. All right, and when I say your shit, I don't mean that your stuff is trash. This is just the way that I talk sometimes. Meaning, whatever it is that you have, whatever it is that you're offering, whatever you're trying to put out there into the world, it's a secret. People don't even know that you have it. They would buy it if you told them about it. They would buy it if you told them why they need it. They would buy it if you told them what it would do for them. They would buy it if you told them to just go get it. They would buy it if you showed the enthusiasm necessary to transfer your emotion to them. They would go get your product. Remember that sales is merely a transfer of emotions, folks. Meaning, however you feel about your product or service, you express that to the audience that you want to influence. If they start to feel the same energy that you're feeling, they will go do whatever you tell them to go do. Simple as that. That is what sales is. And sales does not, again, doesn't have to be an exchange of money. When you can sell somebody on, hey, follow me around the corner because I need to go to the store real quick. If your emotion is strong enough to get them to follow, or whatever your influence is strong enough to get them to follow, they will go do whatever you say to go do. That is all selling is. But if you are not showing any emotion or any caring or any interest in the product or service that you're offering, or that you have because you're not offering it, then how can anybody else show interest in it? Your job as a salesperson is to market and promote and sell your materials. Too many salespeople out here, or would-be salespeople, have materials that would actually help people, but those materials are not helping people in the moment because the creator of those materials is not doing the job of marketing and promoting what they have. And that's problematic for several reasons. Number 1, you did all that work in creating it, but now nobody's getting any value from it. You already know the material. I mean, you're the one who created it, so it's not helping you. It's not helping the people who need it. That's the second problem. Number 1 is that it's sitting on the shelf, not helping anyone, not even you, because you already know it. Number 2, the people who actually need the help of your course or your book or your webinar, they still are sitting around in purgatory trying to figure out what the hell they're going to do with themselves, because they still need this help. They still have the problem that your product or service solves, but they cannot get that help because you are not doing the job of marketing and promoting it. And number 3, you did all that work and you're not even doing it. You forgot the last step. All right, the work is not done. Understand that as a creator or a person who has a value to offer to the world in the form of a product or service, your work is not done until your products and services are in the hands of the people who need them. Your work is not done when you finish writing your book and you get a copy of it and you can show everybody a picture of you holding up the book. That's cool. It feels great. It's an amazing boost to the ego, and it can get people hot, bothered, and excited. Trust me, I've done it before. But the actual goal of having a book is not to have a book. The goal of having a book is for me to get the book into your hands so that you have it. So right here on my desk as I'm recording, I got a copy of my book, Work on Your Game. If you're watching this on video, you see me holding this book. Now, I don't want to hold this book. All right, I want to sell so many copies of this book that I don't have any, and this is a master copy that I keep for myself. But I want to sell so many copies of this book that I'm like, damn, I hate to ship my master copy, but I'm gonna just ship this one out, and I'll order me a new master copy, and I'll replace it. I had to do that with my Mirror Motivation a couple weeks ago, as a matter of fact. That's the goal. All right, I don't want to have any copies of my own books. I want to have so many going out all the time that they can't keep up, that we just run out of trees, and that we got some type of government agency coming after me. Maybe not the government, maybe some environmental agency coming after me because I'm causing so many trees to get chopped down so they can make paper to get my books into the hands of the people who need them. That is my job. That is the last step of my job as a salesperson. As far as creating, let's just say using the book as an example, the last step of my job is you actually getting the book and reading it. My job is not done when I finish writing the book. My job is not done when I get the cover design. Job is not done when I upload it to Amazon, or I get a copy of myself, or I send it to my mom, or I autograph a few. The job is done when I actually I ship it out to UPS or USPS or FedEx or whoever, and they actually send it to you, and you get it, and then the next step is you to actually read it. I can't make you read it, but hopefully if you invest into something, you're actually going to read it. And then after that, I'm going to send you the next thing. All right, you got the book, you like that? All right, imagine how this next thing is going to be. Imagine how you're going to like Bulletproof Mindset, or 30 Days of Discipline, or the next thing that I create, or the next thing that I'm offering, or if I was coaching you one-on-one on a consistent basis. Imagine how much you would like that. So that is my job, to upsell you. After I get you the first thing, first of all, I got to sell you, then I got to upsell. I can't upsell you till I sell you. And it's my job to sell to you. A lot of people are great creators, but they are not selling. Actually, as a matter of fact, I don't know how good of a creator they are because nobody's been able to judge their creation because nobody has it but them. They're the only ones who have it. I'm assuming they may be great. And there's a market, there's an audience for everybody. But you got to get your stuff out to the people who need it. Your goods and services, understand, they are not illicit street drugs. You're not like Smokey and Friday selling marijuana. You're not selling cocaine or heroin, which means it doesn't sell itself. Now, I've never sold drugs, but I've heard people say, when you're a drug dealer, you don't have to sell your drug. No, they sell themselves. It sells itself. All you got to do is just stand there. People just know that you have it, and people are going to come get it from you. And sometimes when people are trying to sell you on selling a product, they'll tell you that it's like that. All you got to do is sells itself. You just got to let people know that you have it. That's all you're doing. No, not in this world. All right, in this world, you have to let people know that you have it, and you have to tell them what it's going to do for them, why they need it, how to go get it, and then tell them to actually go get it. All right, all those are your job. Did you hear those 4 steps? What it's going to do for them, why they need it, how they get it, and then tell them to go do it. That's a framework right there. So we talked about frameworks not too long ago. I'm going to give you that framework in an episode to itself in the future. Do not be an undercover salesperson. Okay, undercover salespeople don't eat too well. Why? Because they ain't got no money to buy anything. People have to know that you have what you have, and they have to know that it's worth the price, and you have to explicitly tell them, go get this thing, go pay for it. Do not be undercover. Put yourself out there boldly and authentically, like I tell you every single day when we open the show. Scribe Media, which is a company that helps people publish their book. Scribe Media. They say that the average self-published book, and most books that come out these days are self-published, though publishing companies still put out a ton of books. They say the average self-published book sells. You know how many copies the average self-published book sells in its lifetime? 250 copies. The average self-published book sells 250 copies. So if you put your book on Amazon for $19.99, you sell 250 copies. We're going to do the math here. 250 copies, $19.99. That's $4,997.50. So let's just say you made $5,000. Now, Amazon is giving you a 70% royalty rate on that. They're giving you royalties on your product, believe it or not. And that's a whole different discussion for a different day. So let's multiply that by 70%, which is what you get, which is $3,498.25. So you made $3,500 lifetime from your book. And then that's not counting, let's just say that you're paying taxes. Let's just say you paid 20% in taxes. We'll just say, based on we don't know where you live. You pay 20% in tax, that's another $700 off of your $3,500. So what do you got left? You got $2,800 left. That is how much the average book makes if you sell it for $19.99 and you self-publish it on Amazon. Now, there are a lot of ways you can make that number get a whole lot bigger, a whole lot faster. Again, different conversation for a different day. But here's the point. The reason I'm bringing up that number, 250 copies lifetime, there are 8 billion people on the planet. So if your book only sold 250 copies, that means either A, you wrote a book for such a small niche audience, or for no audience at all that people couldn't quite understand that it was for them, so they ignored it or didn't buy it, or B, You're just not doing a very good job of marketing and promoting your book. I've told you something, that you don't even have to be good to sell a lot of copies of your product or service. There are a lot of people who sell garbage products and services, but they sell a whole lot of copies of them because they know how to sell. That's the biggest thing. They know how to sell, so that's why they're able to sell so much of their stuff. And I talked about this in episode 1730, how to make money quickly and easily without working yourself to death. Go listen to that episode and understand the concept of selling. Listen to episode 1515 on the concept of marketing. You don't know that a book is trash until you bought the book. You don't know the course is terrible until you buy the course. Now, I know you can read the reviews, but look, people can hack reviews. All right, I know people who do it. Okay, I don't hack reviews, but I know people who do hack reviews. I know people who have more reviews on their podcast or book on Amazon than they actually have sales of their podcast or book on Amazon. The whole point is you don't know something is good, bad, or amazing or trash until after you purchased it. So if somebody's book doesn't sell a lot of copies, not because it's a bad book, we don't know it's a bad book. Nobody read it yet, so how can we know? A best-selling book is not necessarily a good book. Best-selling book is exactly that, a best-selling book. If you're not promoting your thing, you are demoting your thing. Point number 4. Today's topic, once again, are signs that you must, unconsciously or unconsciously, hate money. Number 4, you do not look for ways to optimize your revenue streams. In other words, you are not looking for ways to make more revenue, generate more revenue from what you are doing. And this is a sin against your business. This is a sin against your money because you're leaving money on the table that your customers, your clients, they want to give you their money, but you're not asking for it. You are not creating more value to get it from them. And therefore, they're going to take that money and you know what they're going to do? They're not going to put it in the bank. They're not going to sit on it. They're not going to invest it in the stock market. You know what they're going to do? They're going to go spend that money with somebody else who actually asked for it. That's what they're going to do. Why? Because we are consumers. All of us are consumers. When we want to spend our money, we will spend it. It's just a matter of who we spend it with and what we spend it on, but it will be spent. Every time somebody tells me, for example, that they bought my book on Amazon, here's the thing, the first thought that goes through my mind. First of all, I'm like, all right, that's cool that you bought my book on Amazon. Usually when people tell me that, they're telling me that in a positive way, like, yo, I got your book. I'm going to read and see what you're about. So I thank them and I tell them, no, you're going to enjoy that book. The book's going to help you with your game, this, that. Let me know once you finish with it. But here's the thing that I'm thinking as a businessman. I'm wondering why the hell they got that book on Amazon. They didn't get it directly from us. Why didn't they go to mirrorofmotivation.com and get the book instead of getting it on Amazon? Why didn't they go to workonyourgamebook.com? Why didn't they go to Ball Overseas or workonyourgame.com and actually get my book? Why did they get it from Amazon? I don't want my books to sell on Amazon. I want my books to sell directly from us. Why? For several reasons. We offer a better deal, first of all. You get a better deal if you get my book from me than if you get it on Amazon. How? Because we set the prices on Amazon. All right? Even though Amazon is their platform, we can control the price on Amazon. I can raise the price of any of my books or lower it anytime I want to on Amazon. On our platforms, we offer you a better deal. We offer you more bonuses. We offer the opportunity to get the bundles. Amazon can't do any of those things. And when we sell you our product directly, we get to keep the money and then we can distribute it out to who needs to get it. When Amazon sells our book, they keep the money and then they distribute out to us. Now, how is Amazon doling out my money to me? I just don't like that. I mean, again, I'm not going to take my books off Amazon because you can get some credibility from being on there, but I'd rather sell mine directly. And whenever, most important, this is the most important thing, and I talked about this in the past when we talked about ownership. Any of you who is any of you who are creators, having ownership of your business. The most important thing you own in your business is a list of contacts. This is the most important thing Google has, Facebook has it, Instagram has it, Clubhouse has it. What do they have? They have a list of contacts, meaning people and your contact information. The reason why I told you months ago, why did Facebook offer $3 billion to buy WhatsApp and why they offer millions to buy Snapchat? Is because of the list that those companies had. They had the contact list of certain people who were using the app. It wasn't the technology they were buying the list. So, and I talked about this in episode 1243, taking ownership of your business. Episode 994, taking ownership of everything you touch. That's more on the mental side of things. But 1243, taking ownership of your business. A lead or someone on your list or a contact is just a person who is willing to make a purchase, even if it's $1. That person is worth a lot more than a follower on Twitter or Instagram or Snapchat or TikTok. If you like money, do not outsource your sales to a platform that's not yours. That's the way that I see it. That's a principle that I'm about in my business. Not everybody does it that way. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're wrong if you do it a different way. If you like selling all your books on Amazon, you want to make the Amazon bestseller list and get a bunch of reviews on Amazon, it's all good. I know people who do that, people who are friends of mine, and that works for them, great. What we like to do over here, work on your game, we like to be self-contained, meaning we want to be able to give you everything from when you first come in to when you go out, everything you could get directly from us. Now, you can reference Amazon or whoever to make sure that we're credible. You can look me up on Instagram, listen to my podcasts on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, watch me on YouTube to make sure I'm credible, but then you come into our house to get our stuff because we're going to give you the best deal. I'm not telling you to do it to help me out. I'm telling you to do it because we're going to help you by giving you the best possible deal when you come through us. Do not outsource your sales to a platform that's not yours because first of all, they charge you a tax for doing the job for you. Amazon gives you 70%. You sell your book for $100, Amazon gives you $70. Where'd that $30 go? Amazon got it. That's their tax for selling your book for you. All right, you pay a tax to Amazon when they sell your product for you. Read the terms and conditions on these platforms. All right, they are taking a cut of the money that you are generating. You might not notice it because they're still paying you, but they are taking a cut. And I think like a business owner. So even if a company's giving me $1,000, I'm like, all right, how much money was actually generated? They're giving me $1,000. How much did we actually generate? And where's that money at? Who's taking it and why are they getting it? And how can we get it directly so we don't have to go through them? We don't have to go through the middleman. Again, just the way that I think. Now, is this more work to do things this way? Yes, it is. But is it worth it in this situation? To me, it is. And if you want to learn how to do that, just reach out to me. Send me a text. Again, 305-384-6894. Or DM me, message me. You know how to reach me. Wherever you found me in the first place, just send me a message there. I'll hit you back. Point number 5, last one. Today's topic, once again, is signs that you hate money. You just don't want money in your life. You want to chase money away. Under any circumstance, you don't want money anywhere around you. Number 5, you not put the same energy into selling your stuff as you do creating your stuff. I've kind of said this in 6 different ways already here today, but I had to make a point to itself. Understand that energy equals ideas, people. So understand that you might be thinking to yourself, okay, I created it, but I don't know what to do when it comes to selling my stuff. I know how to create it, but I don't know what to sell it. Understand energy equals ideas. So this 5th point is putting energy into it, meaning you are actually thinking, you are challenging yourself and saying, what can I do to get this product or this course or this service into the hands of the people who actually need it? Just consciously asking yourself the question, thinking about it, opening up a blank document and writing down ideas, reaching out to someone who does sell their stuff and asking them, how do they do it? Go looking up someone who seems to be selling a lot of their stuff. Look at what they're selling. Look how they're selling it. Look what they're talking about. Look what they're promoting. Look at the different ways that people can engage with them and buy things from them, and ask them. Go to if they do a live, get on a live. If they have an email list, get on the email list. If they have a free download, get the free download. They got a book, you can just cover the shipping, get the book. If they're in Clubhouse doing a room, go in the room, ask them a question. They're right there and available. Here's the thing that all you need to remember about successful people, ladies and gentlemen. These days, successful people are all over the internet waiting for someone to ask them how they created success so they can talk about their favorite subject, which is themselves. I'm going to say that one more time because I want to make sure it sinks in. Any of you who is looking to become a success, however you define the word, in whatever category, here's the thing to remember. The people who have already done it and are currently doing it are walking around the internet right now, hoping and waiting for someone like you to ask them how they did it so they can talk about their favorite thing, which is themselves. And when you become successful, you want people to ask you how you did it so you can talk about yourself. Why? Because we all have an ego. We all are narcissists on some level. We all will love to talk about how we create success. Successful people love to tell you how they became successful. All you got to do is go ask them. So if you don't know how you're going to sell your thing, go find somebody who is selling their thing and ask them, how are you selling your thing? They'll tell you. I guarantee you they'll tell you. No successful person will deny you sharing the story of how they became successful. I guarantee you 100%. You find somebody who does, you let me know who they are, and we'll go straighten them out. So whether we're talking, if you want to coach, you want to get coaching, you want to go learn somewhere, you need to invest in a process, you need to better your approach. All these things can help you think differently about things. Worst case scenario, it'll help you think differently. Best case scenario, it'll help you make money. But you have to be putting the energy into it, meaning asking yourself the question. This is the key, asking the question. Let's recap today's class, which is signs that you may just hate money. You have an aversion to money. This one doesn't need a ton of explanation. This is a conscious or unconscious signs that you just don't want money anywhere around you. Check yourself for these errors. Number 1, you prioritize tasks over money. When you're doing a task-based job and someone offers to interrupt your process in order to consummate a transaction, do the transaction. Just like Craig told Smokey and Friday, you better go make that money. Sell your weed to Hector because you need to make some money before the end of the day so we don't get shot by Big Worm. Point number 2, you do not accept that you're in business to make money. You feel like your actions reflect that you're in business to create or to do things that are fun or do things that you enjoy, but you're not even putting as much focus in the making money part, because that's what business is about. It's about making money. Business is the exchange of resources between human beings. Get my book, The Seller's Mindset, at workonyourgame.com so you do not make that mistake. Number 3, you don't market, promote, or sell your stuff. Episode 1515, you are a marketer. And marketers think about, how do I sell my thing? Not just how do I create my thing, how do I sell my thing? Your goods and services are not street drugs, meaning just standing on the corner and having them in your pocket. People are not going to just flock to you and make a line just to buy your stuff, which allegedly people say happens when you sell drugs. I don't think that's even true, even that. But understand, when you're selling a book, all right, people aren't going to come chasing you down to buy your book. You got to go let them know that you have it, why they need it, what they're going to get from it, and then tell them to go get it. Put yourself out there boldly and authentically. Number 4, you do not look for ways to optimize your revenue streams. Every time somebody tells me they bought my book on Amazon, I'm annoyed because it optimizes our revenue stream if you buy it from me. I'm going to give you a better deal if you get it from me. I'm going to give you more things in addition to your purchase. I'm going to give you a better price, and we're going to give you more stuff on the back end. Why are we going to do all that? Because it matters that much to me for me to sell to you directly, because now I can talk to you in the future. If you buy something from me of mine on Amazon, I have no idea who you are. I don't have your contact information. It doesn't serve me. So I'd rather you buy it from me. So if you're on Amazon right now about to buy one of my books, stop. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. Go to workonyourgame.com. Buy it from there. Number 5. You do not put the same energy into selling your stuff as you do creating your stuff. Understand that energy means ideas. Just thinking about, how can I do this? Even if you don't know, you're thinking about it. That will help you come up with ideas. Go ask people who are already doing it. They will tell you. Successful people love to talk about themselves, and they love to talk about how they create their success. Why? Because we got this human thing called ego, and you got it too. You want to learn how to sell your stuff? Get my book, The Seller's Mindset. Go to workonyourgame.com. And send me a text if this episode has resonated with you, if I told you something that really helped you, something that really gave you a different insight, a way of looking at things that you hadn't thought about before. I want you to text me 305-384-6894 and let me know about it. Work on your game. Dre all day.